Previously on Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness.
I feel stronger now.
And with that, our adventure continues. Hello everybody, my name is Jonathan Wolf, and welcome back to the Tomb Raider Marathon. Today we're going to be tackling the second, third, and fourth levels of Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness. And those levels are the Derelict Apartments, or I forgot the name already. The Derelict Apartment Block. And then we're going to be doing the next two levels, which are the Industrial Rooftops and Carvier's Apartment. So yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So the reason I'm doing these next three levels together is because this and the last level for this video are incredibly short. Okay, so here we are where we ended the last level. We got chased down by the police into this apartment, or into this apartment building. And right here to the left, or to the right, we have this cupboard. And what you can do is you can actually push this cupboard to actually stall the police's entrance into the building. Now, as soon as we get to around here-ish, yeah, as you can see, we're gonna break through. And depending where you decided to put that cupboard will actually depend when they decide to enter, because sometimes they will break through when after you go through the first set of stairs. Now, in these little alcoves, we do have some blocked doors, and yeah, there's also that area right there, but yeah, there's nothing down there, so we're just gonna continue up the stairs. Now, as we continue through here, we do have the ground is gonna break, and yeah, I'm actually going to speed things up because we're actually timed because the tear gas is actually going up the building, and I don't know why it's going up the building, considering that, you know, the idea of the police is they're trying us to go down, but we're basically trying to get away from the tear gas, so, you know, it's basically giving us incentive to go up. Now, right here, we get a door that is actually locked, and we do need to find a key. However, yeah, to find the key, we basically have to go all the way to the top. But yeah, basically, we're gonna make it through this jump, and right here we have another cupboard. Now, for this one, we have to pull this guy so we can actually get access to the next section of the apartments. Now, right here in this alcove, we do have a new type of healing items, and these are health pills. And these ones, I believe it's 20. Yeah, we do have 20% restoration. And I guess I should mention this real quick if it wasn't obvious, but for this playthrough, I'm also gonna try to beat this game without using healing items. And speaking of healing items, here we have a new type of heal item, and this is actually a small med pack. However, unlike the previous games where it's 50%, yeah, this one is 60. So, yeah, so yeah, you know, the med packs are going above and beyond. That's awesome. Now, if only the large ones restored 110, then that would be pretty awesome. Okay, so right here we got a door which we're going to bash, and as you can see by the bottom,
Stronger now.
Lara feels stronger. And we do and after breaking down the door, we get ourselves an upper body strength upgrade. And this is actually important you actually get it, because if you don't have this body strength upgrade, you're not going to be able to move a block that is going to allow us to continue on with the level. Or actually, is going to allow us to finish the level. Okay, so in this room, we do have two cupboards. And the first one we inspected, we do have some shotgun shells. And the second one, we do have this type of ammo, which is I think it's called a battery. Yeah, a K2 impactor battery. So I guess it's like a taser gun or something. But yeah, in the first one, we got this, which is V-Packer, which is basically shotgun shells. And we also have the impactor batteries. So yeah, we got ammo for gun that we don't have yet. That is awesome. Alright, now if we continue on through here, we do have some medical bandages. And right up here, this box right here is the box where we need the upper body strength upgrade. So let's move this guy. Then let's get on top. And then we have to jump and grab this ledge right here. And then we can go through this door. And as soon as we go through this door, we're going to be safe from the tear gas. However, I'm still going to go over here to see if there's something here. No, there's nothing. All right, let's continue on. Now, in this room, we do have 2 items. First up, we have a key, the key to the locked door that we saw as we went our way up. And then we have this key. This key will give us will actually open this door, which is actually going to allow us to continue on to the next level. Now, before we go to the next level, we actually want to go and open that apartment door. So what you're going to do is we're going to go over here and flip the switch to activate the elevator. And basically, once you pull this lever, the elevator will actually be functional, and we can actually make it to other areas. Also, I was completely wrong. The tear gas will reach me. All right, but let's go into the elevator, and by using the D-pad, we can actually select the different floor. Now, I think it's very obvious, but don't go to floor 0, otherwise you will be arrested. Instead, I'm going to go to the first floor because it's much easier to do that. It's much easier to go to the first floor or to get to the locked door via the first floor. Although the second floor is honestly not that bad. It wouldn't be that bad. But yeah, basically just climb over here.
This door is locked. I'll need a key.
I already have the key, Laura. All right. And yeah, and here we got this room. And in this room, we have a drawer, if Laura can actually get to it. And here we can get a chocolate bar. Now, I don't know if you can actually access... Oh, yeah, you can. Okay. So, yeah, well, let's go ahead and inspect this thing. And in this drawer, we got some more shotgun shells. And then we got this drawer, which has a valuable item we can sell. Oh, no, it has another gun. So, that is awesome. So, yeah, we got 2 pistols. That is crazy. So, yeah, we got the Vector R35. And unfortunately, yeah, we still don't have any ammo, so there's no real reason to equip it. But yeah, now that we're done with that, let's go down and let's go back into the elevator and go back to the top. Now, one thing that is actually very interesting is that, as you may notice by my health is not full. And yeah, that is because the tear gas actually deals damage to you, which is very interesting. But once we clear out the apartment, just go back to the top floor, and we can go ahead and finish with this level. And yeah, in case it wasn't obvious, but you actually need to use the D-pad to interact with the floors or with the elevator buttons. But yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and use the second key and go through this door into the industrial rooftops. All right, and there we go. That is 1 level done. Now let's move on to the next level. Now, before we do anything, I'm actually going to save my game because this level can be kind of difficult because we're going to get attacked by a sniper. Although, to be fair, he's not going to be that deadly throughout the entire level, but still. Yeah, basically, we want to just climb up here. And as soon as we get over here, we're going to get into this new gimmick.
That wire looks like it will take my weight.
So yeah, thank God Laura's not fat. But yeah, basically we're just gonna jump and we're gonna go through this cable. Now, as soon as we get over here, we're gonna get attacked by a helicopter.
Press duck to tuck my legs up.
And Laura's saying to press duck to tuck her legs. And basically, in order to do that, you need to press the triangle button. And you want to make sure you hold the button. Otherwise, Laura will actually put her gun, or Laura will actually put her legs. Ow! I got shot. Wow. But yeah, basically in order to duck, you want to make sure you hold down the triangle button. Otherwise, Laura will just dance around with her legs. So yeah, make sure you hold the button instead of tapping it. Okay, now for this part can be kind of scary because now we have to slide off and we have to... Oh no, I thought this was a slide. But yeah, basically we're gonna walk down here. And then we want to jump and grab this ledge. And as soon as we get to this point, we actually want to press the triangle button to crawl inside this crate to collect the medical bandages. Now, usually that helicopter... So yeah, basically that helicopter will actually have a sniper that is going to try to kill us. However, yeah, for some reason this guy's not moving around, which is very interesting. Because yeah, usually he goes back and forth into this area. But yeah, basically... Oh, where is it? Okay, there it is. We want to jump over here. No, not that. Yeah, basically we want to go over here. We want to slide down backwards and then want to let go and just drop down here. And once you get to this point, you're actually going to be sort of safe from the sniper. Because, yeah, the sniper is not going to attack you unless you decide to go into the rooftops. Now, sometimes the sniper will get you if you're, like, in these outer areas. But most of the time, he will miss. So, yeah, that's actually... So, yeah, it's not the end of the world. Now, in this area, we did collect some ancient doubloons. And we also have a chocolate bar. And right over here, we got some ammunition. Now, one very cool thing that they actually did for this game is that they actually make sure that items flash, signifying that you can actually pick them up. And they also have a different flash. So, for example, the healing items have a green flash, while the weapons and ammunition have a red flash. Now, I believe the valuable items have a yellow flash, but yeah, I don't actually remember. Maybe I should check that out with the doubloons. Although there are more valuable items we can actually get in this game. But yeah, we did get some ammunition, and the ammo we got is for the MV9. So that is awesome. So yeah, now we have ammunition, so now, which means we can actually kill something. That is awesome. All right. Okay, so right here we got this next area, and we can actually go into this door if we want. However, before we do that, I'm actually going to climb this ladder because there are some items on the top. Also, where is the chopper? Oh, there he is. He's still there. Okay. All right. Let's climb to the top. And I believe on the top there's actually a chocolate bar. I don't remember. I know it's shotgun shells, okay. And yeah, that's basically all there is in this area. So we're just gonna... So yeah, we're just gonna drop down. And you can actually continue up there if you want. However, we're actually gonna go down here because there is actually I think a lower body strength upgrade we can actually get for Lara. Also, get out of the ladder. Get out of the ladder, Lara. Thank you. Alright. Alright, so let's go over here. Let's drop down. And right over here...
That jump looks too far. I'm still a little rusty, you know.
Are you really, Lara? Also, my grandma's calling me, so I have to take this. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, we are back. Let's go ahead and collect this large med pack. And yeah, basically what Lara was telling us back there is... If we press the look button, that's the wrong analog stick. Which, by the way, if you want to do this look action, you want to press the R2 button. But yeah, basically you cannot make it from that ledge to the it's inverted to that ledge. So yeah, we basically need to find a way to make that jump. Yeah, with that, and yeah, basically in order for us to make that, to unlock our inner strength. We want to crawl and go outside over here. Now, right over here, what you can do, you can actually go beyond this fence. However, there's nothing over there, and there's only a dog. Yeah, as you can see, there's the doggy. Yeah, basically, he's not going to... Yeah, basically, he's just gonna stay there and bark away. And yeah, right here, we got some more ammunition. And here we have this crate. And basically, if you push, or if you pull this crate... we will get our first lower body strength upgrade. And basically, with the lower body strength, the more significant thing is that it will basically increase your jump. So remember in the last level or in the last video where I said that your hop and your standing jump will basically be the same until you get the lower body strength or until you upgrade Lara? Well, let's see how different it is. So if we just do a hop, as you can see, we're gonna make it just past this drum, okay? However, if we make a standing jump or a normal standing jump, check this out. Yeah, as you can see, we actually made it to like the other side of this synced platform or the synced street, which is, yeah, basically comes to show the difference between the huge difference you can actually get with these jumps, which is pretty awesome. Okay, now right over here in this little alleyway, we do have a large med pack. And now we're going to get into the combat of this game. Now, the combat in this game can be a bit finicky because the way the combat works in Tomb Raider 6 is that Lara will basically have it's basically the same as pretty much the last games, where as soon as you put your gun as soon as you take out your gun, Lara will start pointing at the closest enemy or at the enemy. However, the more finicky thing about the combat in this game is that you basically is that Lara will keep aiming at the target even if you pretty much the entire time, and it's going to keep it, and it's going to be that way until you either kill the enemy or you put your gun away. And this can be kind of weird to do because, again, unlike the last games, you will not be able to, you cannot like unlock from an enemy. Lara will keep her gun aimed at the enemy at all times. And you'll see what I mean when we get to it. When we cross this fence, because yeah, we gotta fight a dog. But yeah, basically what you want to do is you want to find the space between the barbed wire. And then we just want to go over, and then we just want to put our gun. And yeah, as you can see, Lara is keeping her aim at the dog at all time. And that's actually one thing that can be a bit different about the targeting in this game. Also, I'm using the wrong gun. Weapons. Yeah, we want to use this one because we got ammo for this one. Whoops. Alright. Alright, Lara put her gun away. And yeah, as you saw, the dog was behind me, but Lara still turned to aim at the dog. Now, one thing that, yeah, as you can see, one interesting thing about this game is that this is actually consistent, but the closer you are to an enemy, the more damage you will deal. Because yeah, if you decided to like do it from a distance, the dog would have died in like 2 to 3 hits. However, I got him in 1, which is awesome. And yeah, another reason we actually came into this area is because we do have some more. We do have a battery over there. Now, be careful because if you decide to go over there and explore, you're actually going to go past into a death. You're actually going to get past a death plane and you're going to die. So, yeah, you want to be careful. So just get the battery and then get out, or go back the way you came. But yeah, now that we got the lower body strength upgrade, we can actually make that jump that we saw back in that storage area. Well, not storage area, but that area we saw. And yeah, this upgrade is actually missable. Now, I don't know if every other upgrade is missable, but I do know that this lower body strength upgrade is missable because if you decide to do this level using the upper path, you will actually completely bypass the lower path of this level. Also, I'm getting called again, so I will see you guys in a bit. Yeah, interruptions, I love it. And we're back, hopefully for the last time in this video, because yeah, the next level is actually very short. Okay, but now that we got the lower body strength, we can now actually make this jump.
I reckon I'll make it across.
Do you reckon? And yeah, basically what we want to do is we want to take about over here, and then we just want to do a running jump. And as you can see, we're going to make it just fine. Everything is just peachy. Alright. So let's go and get up. And yeah, the reason we're actually doing the bottom path is because this path will actually give us more items to claim. I mean, we did get the ammo and some valuables, so you know. And speaking of ammo, here we got some more shotgun shells. Also, yeah, I gotta be careful not to not to judge these jumps because yeah, I might actually kill myself by complete accident. And you know, considering that I died one time in Tomb Raider 5, if I can do this game without dying, I'm gonna be very happy. I'm gonna be very proud of myself. Although, now that I say that, I'm gonna jinx myself because I just know it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, right over here we got some ancient doubloons. And yeah, down in that area is where that dog was. That area that I said that there was nothing there. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue on into the upper path and look inside Laura's skull for a while. Yeah, did you see that? You can see her eyeballs. That is awesome. Alright. And then we just want to climb up. Alright. Okay, and here we have this area. Now, if you want to end the level, you want to go to that opening over there. However, before we do that, there are some items we can get. First off, there are some doubloons behind this thing that we came out from. And then what you want to do is we want to do an angle jump. Wait, I want to turn Laura a bit.
Uh-huh.
Alright, I'm just gonna... Should I just YOLO? No, I'm not gonna YOLO it. Okay. Let me, do this. Yeah, let me just walk a bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, that is much better. Yeah, basically, you want to do an angle jump to this area. And we can actually make it over here to get some pills. And then we just want to climb up the ladder. And for some reason, the chopper is not shooting at me, even though it's behind me, but whatever. And is there anything here? No, there isn't. Okay. Okay, wait. Let me see if there's actually one more flash. No, there isn't. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go over here. So let's go into this next area and finish the level. Also, I forgot to mention, but I really love Laura's design in this game. I will say that out of all the Laura designs in the franchise, this is probably my favorite looking Laura in the entire series.
Who is it?
Mademoiselle Carvier, it's Lara Croft. I need your help.
Miss Croft, I recognize you from photos and Werner's description. Come in.
Thank you.
Alright, so here we go. The last level of this video, which is Madame Carvier's apartment.
An evil night to be out alone, Miss Croft. Our streets are not safe anymore.
Mademoiselle Carvier, I have just come from Werner's apartment.
And how is Werner?
I'm afraid Werner is dead.
Dead?
Mademoiselle? That is very weird. I always say Mademoiselle. Anyway. Okay, so Carvier's this level has the introduction of your typical your typical Telltale or Mass Effect choosing. Now, in terms of the overall experience, there really isn't any penalty, so to speak, on what you choose for this. However, for this level, in this level, what you want to do is, if you decide to be an asshole, Carvier will actually not give you a key item you need for this for the rest of the that is going to be essential for the rest of the game. So, and because I hate to be that and because I hate to be that asshole, I'm gonna play nice.
Can I get you anything?
How was Werner killed? What happened?
It's all a bit vague. I arrived at his apartment today from London. He was babbling with fear.
He said he tried to contact you.
He did. I never expected that. Not after Egypt.
Werner has been fearful for his life. He accepted a commission 5 weeks ago. Since then, he's been acting strangely, jumping at shadows. He even left a package with me for safekeeping.
Who was the commission from?
The client's name was Erkhardt. He wanted Werner to research something called the Obscura paintings. Werner approached me at my department at the Louvre.
Were you able to help him?
A little, I think. Poor Werner was clearly terrified.
I wonder why exactly.
He felt he was being stalked.
He could well have been. The monstrum is running around Paris, according to the press.
Werner left a package here with me. I was to give it to you if anything happened to him.
Do you know what it is?
It's his field notebook.
If he left his notebook, he was spooked.
You still haven't explained what happened.
There was gunfire. That's all I can recall.
Gunfire? Werner was shot? Did you kill him?
I can't remember. It's all a blur.
Miss Croft, I strongly suggest that you talk to the police.
Mademoiselle, I was a good friend of Werner's. I didn't kill him. I didn't.
If you say so.
Do you have the notebook?
I do. It's safe for the moment.
I really am going to need Werner's notebook.
Somebody killed Werner. You say you don't remember clearly what happened. Perhaps the police are right in suspecting you.
I never killed Werner.
I think you better leave, Miss Croft.
The notebook?
I'm not sure this is the right thing, but I must respect what Werner wanted.
The right choice, mademoiselle.
And now you had better go. The police will be here in a minute.
Okay, so if you decided to be an asshole, Carvier will actually not give you the notebook, and you basically have to try to find it in her apartment, and she'll basically call the police, and yeah, she'll basically just tail on you. She'll basically just tattletale on you. So yeah, basically basically moral of the story for these choose your dialogue, don't be an asshole. Especially considering that, you know, if you be an asshole, you get one of the greatest death scenes in this game, which I will show because I'm an asshole sometimes.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, basically, before we move on, we're actually going to rob, or we're going to borrow stuff from Carvier. Now for this next part, you are timed, because if you take too long, the police will come and they will actually arrest you, and that by technicality counts as a death. Now in that first drawer, we do have some pills. In this desk, I'll pick it up, Laura. We do have a ring. Right here on this table, we do have some cognac. And as you can see, there's the police, meaning that, yeah, we're running out of time. All right. Right over here on this drawer, I don't think there's actually anything here. Yeah, there's nothing. Here we have another drawer. Let's see if there's actually something. Now, okay. If you decide to be an asshole and didn't get the notebook if Carvier didn't give you the notebook will actually be inside this drawer right here. Now, unfortunately, I cannot inspect it because, well, I already have the notebook. But yeah, basically in this area we do have the yeah, as you can see, the police are coming, so we have to GTFO. And to get out, what you want to do is you want to go into this door, and we're actually going to end the level. And yeah, that's literally the end of the level. And there we go. That is it. And with that, we are done with this video. And next time we meet, we're going to be moving on to the level that is probably going to be the most difficult one for me to record, because this level has 2 ways of beating it. And yeah, it's actually going to be very interesting what I'm going to do for this one. And I say that because yeah, you'll see why. If you've never played this game, you may know why. Also, once you get the notebook, we're actually gonna get this option where we can actually inspect the notebook itself. And as you can see, Eckhod, client, be wary. Louis Bouchard, useful contact, purchase handgun, discretion assured. Terrified to go out, monstrum terrorizing the streets. Try contacting Laura again in London, no response. Still not forgiven me for Egypt, even though you try to save her, but whatever. And yeah, basically we get information about the Obscura paintings. Which is pretty cool. Also, if you mash the triangle button, you can actually close you can actually try to close the notebook indefinitely. And this is my favorite thing to do in this game for some stupid reason. All right. And yeah, let's go. Let me check real quick. We have antiques, necklace, yeah, the diamond ring, and the vintage cognac, a rare vintage from 1851. That is awesome. And weapons. Okay, we don't have one for this thing, so yeah. All right, but with that, we are basically done with this level, this video. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna keep the music here because yeah, that's actually one thing that will complement this game, is that the soundtrack in this game is very great. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, the main theme is like a highlight for me, but yeah, this game has a very good soundtrack, and honestly, I will say it has a better soundtrack than Tomb Raiders 4 and 5 combined. Peter Connolly went above and beyond for this one. And if you've never heard this soundtrack, give it a listen, because you are going to be amazed. But yeah, next time we meet, we're going to be moving on to the Parisian ghetto. And this level can be, again, very difficult for me to do, because there are 2 ways you can beat this level. And this level has a very... It's weird, because there's a branching path, then you have to do a same level, but after you do that level, you have to continue the branching path you already did, which it's weird. It's very weird. It's kind of similar to something you would do in Resident Evil, or the first Resident Evil, if you're doing like if you want to get a specific ending, you know, with Jill or Chris. But you know what? That's up to me to figure out. I don't know, but yeah, I'm basically gonna record like 2 videos every day, and yeah, we're gonna see how I do it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. One of my cats is looking at me from the window. Hi. All right, I'm just gonna end this video. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching this episode of the Tomb Raider Marathon. Next time we meet, we're gonna be moving on to the Parisian ghetto, and we're going to be entering an abandoned nightclub, which is pretty awesome. But until then, this is Jonathan Wolf. Thank you all for watching this episode of the Tomb Raider Marathon, and I will see you all in the next video. Take it easy, everyone.